Okay, so today it is about 10:17 in the morning. It is the 13th of August, 2025. I didn't want to bore you guys with the same videos, the same stuff that I'd been looking at the last few days. So I decided to wait until I was all the way downtown Denver to start recording. Now the sign back there said, bicycles and cars share the road. There was not a dedicated bike lane here. There is a sidewalk to my right. I'm not sure if that was bicycle friendly, because sometimes they're not. But yeah, there's also usually, and I think once we get up a little further, there'll be a dedicated bike lane about where I'm at. It's just not here at the moment. But I wanted to, what if this guy, what's it called? The car behind me, that truck, I wonder, it's called overlanding. I wonder if he's an overlander, because he was set up like an overlander. Alright, so the Pepsi Center is directly to my right, about 2 blocks. Union Station is a few blocks to my left, I think. Yeah, Union Station right there, see the sign? So yeah, now we're just kind of riding downtown, checking stuff out. Now, I've walked around down here a gazillion times. I used to work downtown. I used to come downtown to, party and stuff. But I don't do that anymore. Just more than anything, it got expensive. Oh, okay, so I'm gonna go up here because I don't know where else to go. Because it's one way now. Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like, I mentioned it in one of the other recordings that I did, was that I'm not that familiar with downtown to know which streets off the top of my head are one way and which are more than one way. So yeah. And it turns out my 2-way street turned into a 1-way street. So I'm gonna go down here. Oh, well. This is also a 1-way street. And that is I don't know what kind of car that was, but it was expensive. It's the kind of car you have when you, one of those new VW buses. It's the kind of car you have when you want to impress somebody with how much money you have. Sorry, this became really loose, so I'm going to retighten it down. All right. Oops. Sorry?
I'm hungry.
Oh, I didn't bring any money. I'm on a bike ride, dude. Sorry. I don't have any food or anything either. I got 6 cents. That's the extent of the money I have.
Thank you so much.
Sorry.
Lirito.
Yeah, good luck though.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not going to deny somebody food if they're hungry. I just don't have any food on me. So yeah, we'll, you know what? Let's cross here because it's still green. And then we can cross over here in a second. And then we get to the designated bike path. So, as I was saying, I used to work downtown. Used to come down here and go bar hopping. I'll still come down and go to various festivals or anything if they're going on. Off to the left here is that street that I stopped at the other day because I wasn't sure if bicycles could go down it. But yeah, it got too expensive to come downtown and party or anything. Go out to drink or have a bite to eat. Like last fall. Last fall I came down here for a conference. An organization that I belong to was having their annual conference in Denver. And I was like, oh, cool. Yeah, I'll go to that. Because I don't have to pay for a hotel or a plane ticket or anything. Well, fast forward. Still one way, and nobody's coming, so we will go. So came downtown, and then I had a friend that was going to meet me after, and we were going to go hit up a bar or something while we were down here. And while I left the conference a little early, walked down the 16th Street Mall to get to a bar, only to find out it was like $12 before tip for me to order a bourbon and Coke. I'm like, are you kidding me? So, yeah. I mean, for the price of 3 or 4 of them, I could have bought a whole bottle of bourbon. Depending on, the quality of the bourbon you're buying. But I do love the dedicated bike lanes. I love that Denver is a bicycle / walking / scooter friendly city, so that it's easy to get around. Now you do hear about cars and trucks hitting bicycles all the time. It happens. This guy's coming. So, not here to the right yet, but up here straight to the right, like at my 1 o'clock, that's the convention center. These railroad tracks here are for the light rail system. And I usually will ride the light rail up to about here, maybe 1 or 2 blocks further north, depending on where I'm going. But it's from where I used to live, it was easier to drive, park for free at the light rail station, and then, spend $5 to ride the light rail up to downtown, and then you just walk everywhere. And the light rail allows you to bring bicycles and stuff too, so it's never been a problem. Oh, little guy says go. Straight ahead, like as far as you can see, is Civic Center Park. Got to see Bernie Sanders there, and Alexandria, or whatever her name is, AOC. Also went to a few anti-Donald Trump, anti-fascism, let me get ahead of you, anti-hate rallies at the Civic Center Park. And they call it Civic Center Park because the park sits directly between the city and county building of Denver. Denver is its own city and county, and the state capitol, which I'll show you here in a few minutes. And I'll use that as my turnaround point, just because. So yeah. So if you're hitting all the greens, it's actually quite nice. This is a cross street. This was dangerous, but I didn't want to stop. So yeah, I've known people that come down and they'll like valet their cars, and I'm like, wait a minute, you just paid $65 to have somebody park your vehicle? If you didn't mind walking a couple of blocks, you could have parked for free and spent $5 on a train ride. Even these parking lots, depending on the day and the time, can be super expensive. Like the lots to my right here, or to the left, if you see that. Like right now, it just says, I still got the light. $18 all day. Oopsie, bicycle. Excuse me. Yeah. But that building right there is the Denver City County building. That building straight ahead with the spire or the pyramid at the top, that is the Denver Art Museum. This is the McNichols building. They do a lot of art stuff there. And then that is the state capitol right there. And everything in the middle is Civic Center Park. They'll hold concerts and stuff here too from time to time. Oh, little guy says it's safe to go. I was looking for the green light, not the little white guy that says it's okay to go. So, we'll go, I think I can just go through the park. Yeah, see, got the City and County of Denver building here. Oops, yeah, okay. Wasn't sure if she was crossing or if she was like going diagonal. So yeah, City and County building. State Capitol building. And everything in between is Civic Center Park. Well, technically there's 3 different parks here, but if you say Civic Center Park, you kind of mean all of them. And I'll show you what I mean. I came down here one time and just kind of hung out in the shade with an ex-girlfriend. We packed some lunches, made a little picnic of it. Because at the time, I didn't work downtown, but she did. So just kind of, brought a free sandwich, brought some stuff and made a deal out of it. So, yeah. This is Civic Center Park. I don't know what they're doing today other than just having stuff out. And I'm just kind of showing you guys around. I've been here a gazillion times. But yeah, it used to be a huge homeless encampment here, and then they kind of started squashing it because homeless people are dirty, and dirty is not what the city and county wanted. When people are here for conferences or business events, sports, concerts, etc., and they're walking around trying to enjoy it. So they made all this grass area off limits. So technically, this area across the street where the flagpole is considered Veterans Park. And then there's another street, you can see the SUV over there. And then when you're over there, you're on the state capitol grounds. So technically, that's how it operates. I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's a building back here, not the Bach Financial, but another one back here, a silver one. You can kind of see a glimpse of it to the right of Bach Financial before it gets to the reddish building. I used to work in that building. I used to work in another building down here too. So, and honestly, I'm not 100% sure what the rules are in regards to like where I can ride the bike. Do I need to be on the traffic facing side? I'm not 100% sure. But you know what? I'm gonna go maybe over there anyway. Yeah, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. And I really think I'm gonna have to straighten my phone up. Well, I was gonna bring the 3D, or not the 3D, the 360 camera, but I decided at the last minute to just do this. This building right here is the Denver Post. I guess it didn't matter because, yeah, the one-way street. So there's no riding with traffic. And this is a bus depot right over here off to the right. It's just where you can get on the local buses here and catch your bus to wherever you're going. There's also one at the other end of the downtown area where Union Station is. It's underneath Union Station, actually. But this is the one next to the civic centers and stuff, so easy peasy if you have business. I'm going to downplay that a little bit. I just put myself in pedal assist 1. There was no point in being in 2 for these speeds. These buildings right here used to be World Trade Center. After 9/11, it was still the World Trade Center for a little bit, and now it's the Denver Energy Center. So yeah, this building off here to the right where it says Starbucks, UMB Bank, I used to work in that building. And then this building right here is the Brown Palace. Girl I used to date worked in this building. And we will go, I wanted to go up this way, but again, it's one-way street. I got a parking ticket right over here once. One of the reasons I never come down. I was literally on the corner over here. Saw the guy giving me a ticket, or writing me a ticket, and I was like, dude, I'm right here. I'm just waiting for the thing to say it's safe to go. And he's like, don't care, I already started writing. Yeah, not happy about that. So yeah, used to have a girlfriend that worked in this building. She worked for an oil and gas company and some kind of administrative or not research, but just bonehead work. But she, you know, good for her. I'm not going to begrudge anybody having a job. So this building up here, let me get to it. It's actually kind of interesting too. And then I'll head back. So I got things I got to do today. And I just wanted to get a ride out before it got too hot. Hi, puppy. So this building straight ahead to the left a little bit, kind of like my 12 or my 11:30. It's actually a semicircle. It's really cool because there was an old church there, and when they wanted to build the building, the church said, yeah, well, you can build anything you want, you're just not building on this. So they designed the building around the church. So it's kind of interesting. And that white lower building that white lower building behind it over here, and we'll go right past it, so I'll point it out again. But that's the federal courthouse for this district. And the streets in Denver are, half of them are east and west, north and south, and the other half are diagonal. So yeah, we'll go around Broadway here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. And a lot of these buildings, like this over here, are brand new, like in the last 10 years. Oh, somebody's having a party. But yeah, this building that I'm getting ready to show you, or that I just rode past, that I'm getting ready to show you from the side with the church on it. Girl I used to live with used to work in that building. I should probably be on the other side to give you guys the best view. So, like I said, straight ahead here, this white building is the federal courthouse. Probably see where it says that right there. Oh, hey, puppy. What's up? Actually, I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to show you exactly what I was talking about. Let's see. I might have to tilt the camera a little bit, but you can see the church here, and there's the building. Let me see if I can loosen this and tilt the camera a little bit. And you can kind of see where The building semicircles around the church. Yeah. Put that back down. Yeah, just really interesting stuff. If you like that kind of stuff, which I do. I find anything out of the ordinary to be interesting. Because it's so easy to be the same. It's much more difficult to be unique. We'll go this way just because the light is not cooperating. Yeah, federal courthouse, and whenever they say this is where Neil Gorsuch used to decide cases, he's one of the bad Supreme Court members who is pushing an ideology rather than Constitution. I'm gonna risk it. There's a bicycle lane, but I'm going the wrong way. Yeah. So yeah, if you ever listening to the news and you hear somebody talking about not gonna try and outrace that truck. If you ever hear anybody talk about, Denver federal court, or I can't remember what district this is, 5th maybe? Off the top of my head, I can't remember. I'd have to look it up. But if you ever hear anybody talking about that, that's these buildings right here. Yeah, see? United States Courthouse. And another light. This is one way. Nobody's coming. We're gonna go. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but something's definitely rattling. I still think it's that fender. Problem is, where I'm living right now, like I mentioned before, it's an extremely inexpensive place, which gets you extremely inexpensive people. And I was told when I first moved in not to let people see, if I have nice things or expensive things or whatever. Luckily, my truck's 30 years old and it's got rust and scratches and stuff on it, so I'm not worried about my truck too much. But I am worried about, bicycle. So I don't like to do. Can I make it? Can I make it? Can I make it? Woohoo! I made it. I don't like to make it too obvious that I have nicer things. And since I'm on the 3rd floor, there is an elevator, but the elevator is too small for, excuse me? The elevator is too small for my bike, so, yeah. So this is the downtown, I think this building off to the right-hand side here, this one right here, was like the Real World house at one point, if you remember that TV show. Oh no, maybe it wasn't that one. Oh no, I think it was that one. I thought maybe I was a few blocks behind where I thought I was, but I'm not. But yeah, this is the, I don't want to call it like a bar district, but there's a lot of bars here because Coors Field is right there. There's a lot of sports bars and stuff. I had a friend. There's a, a hostel right over here, a couple blocks to the right. I had a friend stay there one time because it was cheap when she came to town. It was like $20 a night to share a room. And it was like 30 or 40 bucks a night if you wanted a private room. Really cheap. So yeah. Piggly Wiggly Macmar. Looking at the building off to the left-hand side here. Apparently at one point it was Piggly Wiggly something. I don't know. Blarp.org, whatever that is. Department of Creative Pursuits. Sounds like one of those, damn, I didn't know they were going to stop. Sounds like one of those cheap knockoff government agencies that you read about in poorly written urban fantasy books. You know, where they have a secret government department of ghosts and ghouls, or a secret police force that deals specifically with specters and zombies or whatever. Yeah, we'll go up another block or two, and then I'll go over. So I don't want to miss the trail to get back to where I started. Yeah, this is what I was talking about the other day. These are all homes right here. These are all houses, or apartments and condos and stuff. I don't know if I could live here anymore. Like I said, 15, 20 years ago, I would have been happy to live down here when I was going out to the bars and stuff all the time, and was a lot more sociable than I am now. But now I'm like, I don't want to deal with the noise, I don't want to deal with the sounds, I don't want to deal with the crowds. These bike things are definitely not people friendly. They keep stopping. Or the street lights, I should say. I'm going to cross. So I think there's a company a couple blocks further down that I met at an event in Denver last spring at the convention center that we rode by earlier. They sold scooters, high-powered scooters that you would be happy to own because they're going to get you pretty much anywhere you need to be. The problem was they were expensive. He had them on sale for like $2,500, and I'm like, dude, Like if I lived downtown, yeah, sure, maybe. If I didn't own a car. But I do, well, I don't own a car, I own my truck. But yeah, I won't spend $2,500 on a scooter. Especially since a lot of places, even Denver, is having issues with scooters and electric bikes and stuff like that. I just looked down at my pocket and I'm like, oh, where's my phone? Oh yeah, it's on the handlebars. It's funny. So, I think if I take a left here, oops, I can't take a left here. Not officially anyway. Now we'll go up another block. But yeah, these are all homes again, to the left and the right. I did have an opportunity a couple of years ago, like 5 years ago, right after COVID, to move down here. But I have two vehicles. I have my truck and my motorcycle. And I asked about parking. They said, well, the building that we live in, or the building, does not have parking. And I was like, so there's nowhere for me to put my truck or my motorcycle? They're like, well, you can park street side or you can park in a lot. Well, the problem is the lots were, at best, a couple $100s a month for an assigned lot spot. I'm like, no. And that's, again, I would need two because I have two vehicles. If I only had one, maybe. especially since, you just saw how, I mean, I didn't go all the way through downtown, but I went through a lot of it. And you can tell that Denver, while larger than, let's say, Springfield, Missouri, is still not that large. I think right now I'm at 7 or 8 miles of riding so far on this particular trip. When I get back, I should be a little bit more, obviously. So it's the way that I came up that first time. Oh, the Ranger's still out. So yeah, that was basically a little trip through downtown. I'll probably do more of that kind of stuff here going forward. Really depends on, not tomorrow because I have appointments first thing in the morning and then throughout the day. And I actually took a call a little bit ago while I was talking to the Rangers over here. And took a call to have another appointment tomorrow. Luckily, I'm going to be making a couple of bucks. So, I mean, not a lot, but enough for me to buy food and stuff if I have to. Actually, let's do that. Need some more resistance. I sometimes forget that this also has like good old-fashioned bicycle gears. So if I don't want to increase the pedal assist, I can just increase the resistance with the bicycle gears. But yeah, that was basically downtown. You guys have seen this a couple of times now, so when I get up here before I cross the river, I will probably stop the video just for giggles. But I just wanted to show, everybody Denver. I plan on doing a lot of riding. I was actually thinking about it yesterday and this morning about, depends on how cold and icy it is on whether or not I will continue riding in the winter. I probably will. Denver has relatively mild winters. Don't get me wrong, we do have our cold days. We'll have days or weeks where it doesn't get above 10 degrees and, the lows are in the negatives. But more often than not, the nights are in their 20s and the days are in their 40s or 50s, which if you're wearing clothes would be perfectly fine for, a bike ride like this. I had a friend, I was thinking about this the other day too. I had a friend who, years ago, and when I say years ago, I'm talking like 15 years ago. I thought I heard somebody behind me. We were in the same motorcycle group. It wasn't a club or anything. It was just a group, people who got together and rode, and then had a beer or two afterwards. And he worked in IT, and we all had we all had sport bikes. Well, he decided he was going to do a year on a bike. He wasn't going to, or he wasn't going to drive a car. He was only going to, if he had to go anywhere or do anything, he was going to take his bike. Now, this is long before COVID, long before work from home for a lot of people. And he did. I asked him what happened in the, the winter on the ice and stuff. And he goes, if I just took it really slow, stayed off the highways. He goes, I had to bundle up like you'd not believe. And I'm like, no, I'd believe it. He goes, but yeah, just took it really slow. It's like, all right, that's cool. He said there was only a couple of days where he ended up either taking like a cab or his wife had to take him to work because how bad the cold was. I did this earlier on the way here, so I just thought I'd do it on the way back too. But yeah, so he, and if he can do that, and don't get me wrong, when I had my bike, like where I'm living now, my bike's in a storage unit right now. Where I'm living, I don't feel comfortable having an extra vehicle, especially something that can be picked up and thrown in the back of a truck real quick. But yeah, I've always been a year-round rider too, except, I would ride on days where I knew it was going to be nice. Like it might be 30 degrees to go to work in the morning. But then, it's going to be 50 or 60 degrees on the way home. And I would do that easily. And the only time I wouldn't ride is if it was icy or snowy, or it was supposed to be icy or snowy by the time I left work. But there was a time when I worked downtown here. We didn't go by the building that I'm thinking of. But I did ride my bike downtown to take care of the pager went off and I had to go in and fix something. And by the time I got done with that, it was like 11 o'clock at night and it had started snowing. And keep in mind, I was on my Kawasaki Ninja. So, not really a snow vehicle, but it had been 80 degrees that day. So the pavement had been warm and everything. So all I had to really worry about was any icy spots. But I just took it easy. Did about 40, 50 miles an hour to get home. And at the time, I only lived about 15 miles south. And that's what I did. I didn't run across any problems, didn't have any ice or slippage or anything. But, it happens. Especially up in the mountains. We were on an overnight trip. Rode out to Telluride one way, came back a different way. On the way back, we get hit by hail up by Fairplay. Now, Fairplay, for those of you who don't know, is where South Park is. You've seen the cartoon South Park. That takes place in Fairplay, Colorado. South Park, it's Park County, and there's South Park County and North Park County. South Park is South Park. So, but the town there that is depicted in the cartoon is Fairplay. There's nothing there. There's no bridges, no overpasses, we were in an area where we were 10 miles from a gas station in one direction and probably 30 miles from the nearest gas station in the other direction when a hailstorm moved through and just dropped it was marble size, maybe even a little smaller than marble size. So it wasn't really damaging so much as it put all this hail on the road. And we were out there in the middle of nowhere being pummeled by this. And we're talking August. So there was nowhere for us to go. No bridges, no overpasses, no nothing for us to get out of the way. So yeah, that was frustrating. But yeah, for some reason the group I was with put me in the front. And I just did, slow and steady wins the day. So we were doing about 20 miles an hour. Going down this 2-lane road in the middle of, nothing. And that's how we survived. We finally got to a spot where there was an abandoned building, but it had an old covered porch up front, like the old, if you've ever been out west, like those old out west buildings. And we hung out, we pulled over and hung out under there, let people relax. Collect themselves, warm up, move around, warm up their hands and legs and stuff because, hail is ice. And then it started raining, stopped hailing, started raining, and we went. And we got home. All right, but I'm going to go ahead and stop recording right here because there's no point in continuing. Thank you for coming along. We'll do this again. And I'm sorry I talk so much, but, it helps me enjoy the ride a little bit more. So have a great day. We'll talk at you next time.